What's up, everyone? This is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and we are back again. I'm going to try something a little bit different, just to kind of give some more recent updates for certain players. I'm going to call this the mid-tier report. Just talking about players of different mid-tiers and kind of how their progress is going. I think what better start than to be with the made mid-tier of Melee right now, which is RapMonster. Now, RapMonster was fresh off of ninth place at Full House Siege. However, had a very good pools run, beating Moki Sunsei and Wizrobe. Uh, definitely getting two top wins and like a top 15 win from last year is pretty good. His elo on Lucky Stats going up pretty high, kind of considered in the top 15 to 25, kind of depending on what you're looking at. But definitely looking pretty good. Now I like RapMonster. Shoutouts, he's from MDVA. That's where I currently am. I'm in Virginia. So I kind of have like, okay, if I were RapMonster, what would I want to do? Now, absolutely, top 8 in a major is definitely something that he is like yearning for. Like he really, really wants it. He got close twice, but didn't quite get it. But I think another thing is I don't think he necessarily has a chip on his shoulder about being ranked low. I think being 28 last year was very good. Kind of like those Crudo wins definitely helping out a ton. He didn't have the most well-rounded year, but he had some good wins. So I think that the ability to play players ranked above you and potentially beat them is something that I would want if I were him. And currently, he has a pretty good record right here. This is not positive record. This is just if you've beaten them before. So he beat Zane at Genesis, beat Moki at Full House Siege, beat STJ at Sunset Melee, beat Wizard at Full House Siege, beat Nikki at a pre-local. If you don't want to count that, that's fine. Sunsei Full House Siege, Crudo he beaten like 3 different times. Beat Aura at Genesis, Junebug at like a regional. Slug he's beaten like 5 times. I think most recently like Smash Valley, and then Panda. I think this was at Supernova. Not quite sure. But either way, has 11 wins, and just like 11 different people beaten. He has some like Crudo and Slug and people like that. He has more wins on, but at least one win on 11 out of 27 above him. That's pretty good. Losses only, Cody and HBox being pretty recent. He had none of the top 5 played, besides, I guess, none of 2 through 5 played at Full House Siege. So he played 3 out of the 4. That was good. Losses to Cody and HBox. Losses to Axe, Supernova, J-Muka, Full Bloom. Salt lost to Genesis. None lost to Full House Siege. I think Ginger was at Supernova and Laud in region, I assume. I guess Laud might be Tri-State now. But either way, somewhere on the East Coast. And then has not played more people on the lower side. Zamu, Amsa, Moth, Magi, Ossify, which Amsa only lower because of a poor year, not necessarily low in terms of potential. And then Aklo, Triff, and Josh Man closer to the top. So I think that even though lost to none, lost to some people like Cody and HBox, it's good to fill in these things. Because you have a VOD to look back to. He's been doing a lot of VOD review and focus on trying to get things going through. And so I think that just getting at least a set, even if it's a loss, it should be fine. Now, I would say that his character success is it's pretty good. He's actually pretty good against Sheik. He's done well against Crudo. Also some other wins on Juicebox and some other in-region people. So he's pretty good at the Sheik matchup. And, I mean, when you have J-Mook, Crudo, Ben, Spark is coming back up. You have Zanya. You have a bunch of good Sheiks. That's definitely a good thing. Because Sheik is kind of seen as the mid-tier Slayer in a lot of ways. So if you can kind of get past that, that's definitely a good thing. In terms of Ice Climbers, definitely go to the matchup. I'm not sure. It might have said Fox for Nikki. But either way, has a ton of Slug wins, Frostbite wins, I think Crike probably goes Marth instead of Ices for this. So is very good against the ice climbers. So when you have Moth, when you have uh, Nikki or anyone else, Slug is doing better and better. He's like 5-0 on Slug in the past 2 years. So ice climbers really good matchup. Marth, he's done well in the Marth matchup, beating Kadoran, Zane, Crike, a few others in reach, and or also like Grab at Genesis. Melon, I'm pretty sure is Marth. So like I'd say that, and like there's a bunch of in-region Marths. You have Vintage, you have Anakin, you have Melon, you have a bunch of really good Marths in MVA, and so you're and he says that that's a bad matchup. So he's been good at the Marth matchup. Unclear to see how Ossify would go, but here are the losses we've seen this year. Mostly in region to Day Tripper, formerly Kevin Maples. This is an asset. A lot of these are just locals, either like free or like Baltimore Melee Weekly, BMW, or Cab Clash, like other things in region that aren't going to count as much. So having this high level Fox is really good. I mean, there's also like Maelstrom beat H-Box last year. It said he had a Spark and Med loss as Falco, but Spark and Med's also a pretty good Fox. He has wins against Kim. He's done pretty well in the Fox matchup. Cody, it was not an embarrassing 3-0. It was close. But I think that, clearly he's good in the Fox matchup. Moki, Sunsei, Panda, has these Fox wins. So I don't think he necessarily has to worry about the Fox matchup. Yeah, there's certain things. Like Cody was aerialing really well when Luigi was in disadvantage. That was a big thing where he really used back air and up air very well when Luigi was kind of like above the ledge in some ways. So I think trying to kind of restructure that could be helpful. I think Puff and Falcon are seen as RapMonster's worst matchups right now, especially Falcon. I think that's a little bit overblown. I mean, especially after the Wizrobe win, which Wizrobe wasn't playing very good in pools, but it's still a matchup that he's been struggling with both offline and online. Salt being someone of frustration online. Wizrobe been kind of his offline demon. I think maybe it was like 0-3 or something. Recently did lose to None, which is a little surprising. I mean, None's solid. But yeah, Puff is actually something to where, he didn't do bad against H-Box. It was just some stuff. It seemed like he was just impatient. He was spamming sliding up smash. He was not really patient, which I get it. Playing a best of 5 against H-Box when you're doing good, because some people did just lose immediately. But when you're doing good and it's just out of reach, that can be frustrating. Lost to SCJ twice. Did take a set, but lost twice at Sunset Melee. Lost to Zasa twice at Bare Necessities. Later played Zane. But in bracket, which Zasa's good. It's not like Zasa is completely outclassed by these two. Zasa's probably going to be top 50 thanks to these wins. But Zasa, a very good NC player. But yeah, so I think that Puff is a challenge. You can kill Puff early. But there's just certain things that Puff does so much better than Luigi in terms of aerial movement. Luigi seems to have to be a lot more committal. So kind of restructuring that. I don't think that he needs to get a secondary for Puff or Falcon or anything. But it is something to where, okay, you're going to have to be very intentional, and people are going to get better at the matchup, so you got to outpace them. Falco, more low-key. I think this was at Jorge's place, where he lost to Bobby, and then Sparkman. It said he went Falco at a free weekly. I don't think he really struggles against Falco. It's really unclear, because he hasn't played Magi, hadn't played Mango, hadn't played a lot of top... I guess has lost to Ginger. Top Falcos against Luigi haven't seen very much. I think that would probably be fine. It seems like he's not going to get stopped by lasers in neutral, and that's kind of seen as the... I remember I was quoting or talking about SK92 versus Luigi Kid. This old school, not old, I guess it was 2015. This regional game in I don't know if it was SoCal or what, where SK92 just shot the gun over and over and over, and Luigi Kid just couldn't approach. I think that is not going to be too bad for RapMonster using platforms, because platform's kind of a weird height for Falco Laser. It's much easier to do out of a short hop. In full hop, you go too high. So if you're using platforms well, I can see RapMonster doing very well. And then, yeah, did lose to Aura in the run back from Genesis, lost at Full House Siege. I think Aura really prepped the matchup. I think that RapMonster definitely is solid in the Peach matchup, has a little bit of experience playing against like Laud. He's beaten Sir Maris before. I wouldn't say has a ton of Peach experience. I wonder if he's played Malachi. I'll have to check. But either way, I don't think that's going to be a huge thing. But yeah, so that's kind of like my kind of going over kind of the matchups and stuff. Now, he does have a lot of stuff planned this year. This is currently what he's entering pretty soon. First, starting with Pat's House. This is looking to be a pretty solid event in SoCal. SoCal has some, not quite as strong as they used to be, but some solid players. And I think that this could be a good opportunity for him to finally get that top 8. It's no super major, but it's pretty top heavy. I mean, it has HBox, Moki, J-Mook, Zane, Crudo, Josh Man, Axe, and then he is the 8th seed, 8 and 9 with Spark. People may be confused why he is so low, but like he just beat Moki. Should he be seated higher? You have to look at it contextually. Moki had a great, losers bracket going through a Full House season in 3rd place. It's not just about the head-to-head. If that were the case, then why is RapMonster above Aura? So I think that this is fine seeding. The HBox here is not the best luck, but RapMonster's never been Spark before, and Spark has been in that range. Has been doing some like controller changes and other stuff, so has been prioritizing competing as much. But this would still be a very good win. And then HBox, you get another chance. I'm not super bought in to see if this were to happen. You never know. Sometimes you gotta take more chances to put yourself out there and all that. But I think that if he loses to Spark, plays against another Puff, Faust, that'd be a little challenging. Then potentially plays Crudo or Fiction or J-Mook. And that's kind of depending on both ways, to where Crudo or Fiction are possibilities either way. If this happens to be J-Mook, or J-Mook is preeminent, I don't know. But like has the ability to play either Spaceys or Sheik, which I think are good matchups for him. You never know for sure. I think he's very confident against Crudo. I would like to see J-Mook, RapMonster. I like them both. May the better man succeed. But this could be a top 8, and then he could even keep going from here. I mean, imagine this. He could run all the way up to 2nd. Like, look. He, took Game 5 Axe, Super Mario 2024, and he's gotten better since then. He could be Zane again. He could be Moki again. He's beaten Crudo a bunch. He could literally run it all the way back to 2nd place. Maybe even take a set or two. Like, this is a pretty good event. You have not very many Falcons, which he's already getting better in. You have a lot of Puffs. But if he's really focused on the Puff matchup, which after losing to HBox, I'm sure he has a little bit of motivation to do that. All there is S2J here. So not very much. Yeah. And I think that, S2J, and he has a history with the bait and all that. That was a while ago. That was like 10 years almost. So I think it is, I think he has a pretty good chance here. Creed, not nearly as stacked. He's a 1 seed. He's been having Slug's lunch money. He's beaten Kem before. He's beaten Crudo before. I would like to see if he plays Moth. I think that would be very interesting. Just kind of, filling in the blank on the chart. Or heck, even Kevbot. Playing. I guess 7 would be pretty helpful, but I feel like he would win this almost for sure. but I think there could be some challenges. It takes a lot of props to go as the 1 seed where you don't have much to gain. Beating Slug is going to make you look better and better because of how Slug did out of the blue. But yeah, so probably favored there. At Patchwork, not a ton right now, but I mean you have Salt, you have, let's see, I think I saw Zane somewhere. Yeah, Zane signed up. I don't see a ton of North Carolina people signed up for this yet. Give it time. Moth, Ginger, Sidward is the local Luigi here. Zasa, you get a run back there. Zimberfizz, a really good Samus. I think that this would still be an interesting event. Already played Cola before. Chicken Man, get some run backs there. I think it'd be interesting even if it's not the most stacked. Also at this in Massachusetts has this upcoming. Another one what I would say is probably favored, but I mean you got Bonfire 10, you got Calvar, you got Zamu. Regex is up there. Daniel, shout outs. Saucy Main, get some. Maybe go double Luigi in teams or something. I don't know, but I think that there's good opportunities. And also for the PM heads out there, he did sign up for this, which he did announce for Gommel, I believe. But he's also doing PM at Gommel, which he had a really good run last time. Maybe he can get the run back on Blitz. Shout out to Duper Soup. Went to one of my events back in the day. Pretty good Charizard, I believe. And then he's also been entering Ultimate. I know a lot about in-region Ultimate. He's gotten some good wins so far. Beating Symphony. He's beaten Ruse. Ruse has gotten really good. I think this is K24, another Luigi. And so he got 5th place, losing to Matador and Rap. That is not bad at all. That's very good. So he's playing the Smash Bros stuff, man. He's doing very good, and I'm excited to see. We can see that he's starting to get a lot more green next to these people. I definitely think that some of these people, I think that I would favor him even if he none for whatever reason. That was just kind of a stylistic thing that was challenging. He did beat Morse twice at a pre-local. But I think he could get the run back and get the lead on Aura. Null's still up there. I don't know if Null will still go to stuff. I think he could beat Spark. I think he could beat Ginger. I think he could beat Axe. SCJ he already has. I think he can start to catch up a little bit. SCJ is also not having the best year. I think he could beat Laud. I don't know if Laud is necessarily as. I don't know. It's hard to compare Peach style. I don't know that much about Peach, and I'm starting to get her conceptually a little bit. But I don't know. I might try and pick up Peach and kind of learn kind of the thought process. But yeah, it's probably going to be a while until Cody will be an opportune opponent. But besides that, there's a lot of people that he's likely going to play at some point. I don't know how much is going to be. Is he going to altitude sickness? Let me check. Altitude sickness. Huh. Let me check. I don't know. I'll check next time. Either way, I think that this could be a continue of a very good year for RapMonster. I don't think he's done. I think that this could be very exciting, and I'm really curious to see how he will keep putting Luigi and mid-tiers in general on the forefront. So, good stuff.